I always believed that trust was the foundation of a relationship. I mean, without it, what's the point? That's why I never snooped through Emily's phone, never questioned where she was, and never asked too many questions when she came home late. I was that guy. The cool, understanding boyfriend. But that night, something was different. It was almost midnight when she walked through the door. Her hair was messy like she'd been out in the wind, her makeup slightly smudged, and she smelled like perfume that wasn't hers. Not the kind she ever wore. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry I'm late," she said, rushing in, tossing her purse on the couch. "Sarah had a mini meltdown over her ex. We talked for hours." I smiled and nodded. "Everything okay now?" "Yeah, just girl stuff," she replied quickly, avoiding eye contact as she kicked off her heels and walked past me into the bathroom. Here's the thing, I wasn't suspicious until that moment. But something about the way she avoided my eyes, the sudden change in her tone, made my gut twist. After she went to bed, I opened Instagram out of boredom, and then froze. Sarah had posted a story 30 minutes earlier. She was at home, in bed, wrapped in a blanket, eating pizza and watching a movie. Alone. No meltdown. No girl talk. Why lie? I stared at the ceiling for hours, my mind racing. Was I overthinking it? Was there some explanation? I wanted to believe there was. But the next night, when she was in the shower, I did something I'd never done before. I picked up her phone. Her passcode was the same as always. I hesitated for a moment, my thumb hovering over the screen, my heart pounding in my chest. This is wrong, I told myself. But I did it anyway. I opened her messages. Most of them were harmless. Family, work, friends. Then I saw it. A contact saved as just the letter J, and their chat was pinned at the top. I tapped on it. My world shifted. "Can't stop thinking about last night fire. Your skin against mine. I've never felt like this before. I miss you already." My hands were trembling. I scrolled up, hoping to find some kind of misunderstanding. But no, there were photos. Her smiling in bed. Him shirtless in a mirror. Dates, hotel receipts, even plans to meet when I was out of town last week. And then I saw the worst message of all. From her. "I think he's starting to notice." That he was me. I didn't sleep at all that night. I lay there next to her, listening to her breathe peacefully, while my entire world fell apart in silence. How could she? How long had I been living in a lie? I stared at the ceiling, trying to piece together every little moment I had overlooked. The night she came home late. The sudden girl trips. The messages she'd quickly swipe away. All of it made sense now. It had been in front of me the whole time. I just didn't want to see it. At 6 a.m. I got out of bed, got dressed quietly, and went for a walk. I needed air. I needed space. My chest felt tight, like someone had strapped a belt around it and kept pulling. I walked for an hour. Then another. I ended up at a small diner and sat in the corner, staring into my coffee, thinking about every second we'd spent together. 3 years. 3 damn years. We had plans. We talked about buying a house, getting a dog, even starting a family one day. Was any of that real to her? Or was it just convenient until someone like Jay showed up? I thought about confronting her right away. Just going home, slamming her phone on the table, and demanding answers. But something inside me stopped. No. She lied to me for months. I wasn't going to let her talk her way out of this. So I made a plan. I went home, pretending everything was fine. She greeted me with a kiss like nothing had happened. Like she wasn't secretly sending nudes to another man while sleeping in my bed. I smiled. I told her I was going on a short business trip next weekend. A fake one. She lit up. Really? That's perfect. Sarah and I were actually planning a spa day. Girls' weekend. Of course she was. I nodded. Go for it. You deserve it. The next few days, I acted like the perfect boyfriend. I cooked dinner, bought her flowers, even took her out to her favorite restaurant. She had no idea that every second I looked at her, I was imagining all the ways I would expose her. I used that week to prepare. I backed up everything from her phone to my laptop. Every message with Jay, every photo, every video. I even recorded a voice memo from her call with him when she thought I was out jogging. The sweet lies she whispered to him were poison in my ears. And then, I booked a hotel room, the same one she had used with him 2 weeks ago. I called in a favor from a friend who worked there, and got the room next to theirs for Saturday night. If she was going to lie to me in that place, I'd watch her do it with my own eyes. Saturday came faster than I expected. By the time the day arrived, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. I had barely eaten, barely slept. My mind was spinning with 1,000 questions, and none of them had answers. I left the apartment early that morning, suitcase in hand, kissed her goodbye like a loving boyfriend heading off on a short trip. She smiled, wrapped her arms around my neck, and said, "Come back soon, I already miss you." I wanted to scream, but I smiled. I kissed her forehead, and I walked away. By noon, I was in the hotel room, 2 floors above the one I knew she had booked with him. My friend at the front desk confirmed the reservation. Emily, under her full name, check-in at 2 p.m. with a second guest, a man. I sat in that room, staring at the hallway, my heart pounding every time the elevator dinged. I felt sick, betrayed, but more than anything, I felt angry. At 2:14 p.m., I saw her. She walked out of the elevator in a black coat, sunglasses, and heels. Not her casual, spa weekend outfit. No, this was date night attire. She didn't come alone. Right behind her, laughing, was Jay. Tall, tan, cocky smirk. The kind of guy who thinks the world owes him something. He kissed her right there in the hallway. Not a shy peck, a full kiss like they hadn't seen each other in weeks. And she let him. I closed the door quietly. My hands balled into fists. My whole body trembled, but I wasn't sure if it was rage or heartbreak. For the next 2 hours, I sat in silence listening, waiting. I had set up a small camera, nothing illegal, just a motion-activated GoPro pointed at their door. I wasn't going to film inside the room. I didn't need to. I just needed proof they were there. Together. Around 5 p.m., I heard them laughing in the hallway again. They left the room, holding hands, heading to dinner. And that was my moment. I snuck into their room with the backup keycard. I wasn't proud of it, but I had to see it for myself. The moment I stepped inside, I froze. His jacket was on the chair. Her earrings were on the nightstand. The bed was messy. Used. It was real. All of it. Not just messages or photos. This was real. She had brought him here. To the same place she once celebrated our anniversary. And suddenly, something inside me broke. Not loud. Not violent. Just snapped. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just stood there, in the quiet room, surrounded by the scent of her perfume and the ghost of their betrayal. Then I saw it. Her necklace. The one I gave her on our first Christmas together. The one she promised she'd never take off. It was lying on the bathroom sink. She took it off for him. I left the room quietly, locking it behind me, as if I hadn't just witnessed the complete destruction of everything I believed in. I walked back to my floor, sat on the edge of my bed, and stared at the wall for a long time. I don't remember how long. Maybe minutes. Maybe hours. Time didn't matter anymore. What do you do when the person you love the most becomes the person who hurts you the deepest? I could have confronted her then, texted her, called her, waited for her to come back, and exploded right there in the hallway. But that wasn't enough. I didn't want to just catch her. I wanted her to feel what I felt. To look into my eyes and realize she had destroyed something she could never rebuild. So I waited. When they returned later that night, I was watching from the end of the hallway. She didn't see me, too busy laughing at something he whispered in her ear. They disappeared into the room again, and I went back to mine, pulled out my laptop, and finished editing everything. Every screenshot. Every text. Every photo. All of it, perfectly organized, time-stamped, undeniable. And then I wrote her a letter. It wasn't angry. It wasn't cruel. It was honest, brutally honest. I wrote about how much I loved her. About all the little things I remembered. The night we stayed up till 3 a.m. watching old movies. The way she used to hum in the shower. How she always stole my fries even when she said she wasn't hungry. And then, I wrote about how all of it died the moment I read those messages. The moment she looked me in the eyes, and lied without a blink. I ended it with one sentence. You didn't just lose me. You lost the version of me that would have done anything for you. I printed the letter, placed it in an envelope along with a USB drive that contained all the evidence, and left it on the bed in their room while they were in the shower. I didn't knock. I didn't wait. I walked out of that hotel and into the night like a ghost. No texts. No goodbye. Just silence. By the time she opened that envelope, I was already gone. Not just from the hotel. From her life. It's been 6 weeks since I walked out of that hotel room. 6 weeks of silence. 6 weeks without her voice, her touch, her lies. I thought the pain would kill me. The first few days were unbearable. Every corner of our apartment reminded me of her. The way she laughed in the kitchen, how she'd fall asleep with her head on my chest, the smell of her shampoo on my pillow. I moved out by the end of the week. I couldn't breathe there anymore. She tried to contact me, of course. First came the texts. Then the emails. Then the phone calls. Hundreds of missed calls from her. I never answered. Her messages started out defensive. It's not what you think. You don't understand. Please just let me explain. Then they turned desperate. I messed up. I'll do anything. I can't lose you. Please talk to me. I love you. I love only you. But the truth is, I had already heard enough. I heard it in every word she wrote to him. In every lie she told me while looking straight into my eyes. She didn't love me. She loved the version of me who trusted her blindly, and once that died, there was nothing left to save. I blocked her on everything. Socials. Phone. Email. Even mutual friends. I didn't want the story. I didn't need an apology. There are no explanations for betrayal that make it hurt less. People say time heals everything. Maybe that's true. Or maybe you just learn to live with the scar. And that's what she is now, a scar. A deep one. But scars remind you that you survived. I still think about her sometimes. Not in the way I used to. Not with love. But with clarity. I remember how easily someone can smile at you while stabbing you in the back. How quickly love can turn into silence. And how sometimes, the most painful thing you can do is walk away without a word. I'm rebuilding now. New place. New city. New job. Still figuring things out. Still healing. But one thing I know for sure, I will never again beg someone to be loyal to me. If you have to ask for loyalty, it was never there to begin with.